Kolo Yahbashim Yahushai, Shalom to the house of David, the 144,000. Bayaf Dawadan, the one-third men, women, children, part of the elect. Who you Hebrew Israelites, you black Hispanics and Native Americans, you the lost tribes of Israel. And to the Israelite foreigners, confusing the faces, speaking the different tongues, different languages. It's part of the church. Basically, over here is this is Dave Action checking in. He actually be on point with the news. Basically, Trump sends naval task force to North Korea, which you can't really find too much news on it because there's a blockade on it, man. That's why through the social media, the spirit and power Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, bestowing the elders of Great Millstone to teach us. That's how I woke up to the truth, the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai, endowing the elders of Great Millstone. And that's how I was taught, man. I didn't just wake up one day and know I'm a Hebrew Israelite and know what time I'm living in, And then others is like passing the baton. And they've been teaching for 30, 20 years of the end times, of the prophecies. And now we're teaching the sheep also, man. And others is waking up, you know what I mean? It's like a family tree, And brothers and sisters are waking up what time we're living in. Even a lot of people that came up against us. It's been happening the last 2 weeks at camp. Last week people came against us. That came against us years ago, a sister and a brother, and they came and apologized and said we got the truth. And yesterday at camp, a brother came up and he apologized. 2 brothers, actually. So, like, a lot of brothers and sisters, this Israel thing's in the atmosphere, man. It's in the air, man. And the prophecies are taking place. The Heavenly Father, through his Son, man, and the prophets, putting that spirit on the prophets on earth to prophesy these things, and actually it's coming to pass. And it's a beautiful thing, man. But this Trump sends naval task force to North Korea. It's just about to pop off, man. It's just about to get serious. And now Russia, I believe April 10th, I believe tomorrow to the 15th, they're going to have a Russian airplane fly over the United States, Babylon, man. And what do you think they're going to do? They're going to be setting up shop, trying to do their finalization, or where they're going to shoot them nukes off, man. Because World War III is in the air. They already sent warships toward the United States, two U.S. destroyers that shot off those missiles towards Syria. So this thing is popping off, man. The prophecies are screaming, and days are flying by, man. By the time it'd be May, June, May Day, Illuminati birthday. In the last 13 days, going into May Day, May 1st is the Illuminati birthday. Big things happen within that 13 days. Fire sun sacrifice to the beast, man. A lot of big things happen around this time. Next week is the pagan holiday Easter. On Sunday, Day of the Sun. Ishtar, the goddess of dawn, morning star to the east. And this war is going to start in the east, man. So something big might happen this week. We're going to see, man. Lord willing, man. Prophecies are screaming.
3-front war. Now that we've decided to send a carrier task group at 16 ships to the area to antagonize an already paranoid leader, playing right into his hand. He can go tell all of his people, look, the United States is harassing me. He'll play the victim card. By the way, this little area over here is going to have probably 35 to 40 surface ships. God knows how many submarines. Probably 100 planes flying over at any one time. Because it's not just the 16 ships from the U.S. and our task force. The Russians will send some ships. China will send some ships. Japan will send some ships. They'll send airplanes. There'll be all kinds of reconnaissance going on. It's going to be...
man, April 6th, when they shot off those missiles towards Syria, those 60 missiles on April 6th, that was the 100-year anniversary of when the United States entered into World War I, man. And it's a 100-year also anniversary of the Balfour Declaration, right, which is in November. And then you have the Bolshevik Revolution, 100-year anniversary. So this year is a big year for these Illuminati, man, for these Rothschilds elites.
Armageddon Armada. All happening right here. Okay, well, let's start another front. Ronald McDonald, Zionist stooge. Over here, we already have our current quagmire with unconfirmed reports that there was an incursion into Syria by 20 armored vehicles from Jordan with U.S. flags on them. We're still waiting for those reports to be confirmed, so we may have an actual ground war in Syria. We already have 1,000 troops there, special operations, with another 1,000 on their way. So we're stuck there now. No end in sight. What advantage does this give the United States? What do we gain out of it? Nothing. What advantage do we get out of quote unquote liberating North Korea? Well, Dave, they're a threat. With their crappy missiles, they're a threat to the United States. Really? 250 miles? Those missiles are going to reach the United States? Well, we have to liberate those people so that they love democracy. Yeah, just like we did in Iraq.
Yeah, that was
a lot of propaganda here, you Trump supporters. See, that's the problem with the average Trump supporter. They're 23, 24. They haven't lived through this stuff before. They haven't lived through Desert Storm. They haven't lived through 9/11. When 9/11 happened, they were playing with their Tinker toys. They were 5 years old. They don't know what happened. Hopefully, they'll be the first to volunteer to go. Hey, come in with your red hat, and we'll give you a green beret, and you could get stationed along the Russian border with all the other NATO troops and U.S. troops. So those are the three fronts. 1, 2, 3. What does this give the United States? What advantage is this to us? None. But we're going to be bloodied and black and blue carrying out the Zionist agenda because they don't like Russia, because there's a lot of Christians going through a new revolution of religious thought. More people are becoming Orthodox Christian in Russia. It's becoming a Christian nation. And I guess the Zionists don't like that. So we have to kill them and murder them and topple their government and take them over. Which, now that they're feeling paranoid, they're just going to form a stronger alliance with Red China. So it's not about taking over Russia. It's about taking over Russia and Red China. Do you think the United States is going to win that? Do you think the United States is going to come out on top of a conflict with China and Russia now that we're pushing them together? What do we get? We get to be weak. We get to have our military depleted so that we already have just all like the illegal aliens in the United States. At least 3 to 4 million in California. God knows where else. We already have these Syrian refugees with Saudi Arabia building mosques, funding
you devils are the original aliens, man. So what aliens? This is Native American land. This is Mexican land. You know?
Mosques, which are nothing more than caches of weapons. What do you think is going to happen when our military is depleted? We have all of these problems and civil unrest in the United States. We're going to become weaker and weaker and weaker.
Yep.
The exact opposite of what Ronald McDonald told you, Trump supporters. Because he's a deceiver, he's a liar, and he's fooled you. He's not an American. He's a Zionist-controlled stooge, and he's going to destroy America.
They all are.
I hope you got that memo. But if you didn't get the memo, why don't you take your kids down to the local military recruiter? Maybe they can be on the next strike force. Maybe you'll get a little video game patch. How's that sound? Maybe Ronald McDonald could open up a fourth. No, he couldn't do that, right? Because if you went up to Ronald and said, why are you doing this? He'll say, well, World War I had one front. World War II had 2 fronts. So I guess for World War III, we have to have 3 fronts. Isn't that right, Jared Subway Kirshner? That's right, Dad. And that's about how it'll go. So,
hey, man, that's the time we're living in, man. U.S. to move carrier strike group closer to Korean Peninsula. And that's going to piss off these North Koreans, man, because the South Koreans, they so-called cool with the United States, man. The reason that DMZ there is because of Babylon, United States. The United States is a problem of the world, man. They're the cause of all this bullshit that's going on in the world, man. That's why they're going to get what they deserve. Long time coming. Revelations 11 and 14. The second war was past, and behold, the third war cometh quickly. The second war was past, World War II. And the third war coming quickly, World War III. And now you had the World War I, the 100-year anniversary of World War I. April 6th, that's why they shot off those missiles, man. Because they're trying to revive that spirit, the Illuminati, man. They're going to be destroyed, though. These missiles are going to hit America. And there's nothing you can do about it, man. Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So this world war is going to be nuclear fire. Nuclear missiles, ICBM missiles being shot from Russia